Good afternoon, good evening, Sales Academy people. So today I wanted to share with you, or this evening, I wanted to share with you something that's come up since the start of the year. And it's not just my industry, it's kind of all industries really. It's the start of the year, so therefore new year comes around with goal setting and resolutions and intentions and all that sort of stuff. And then that moves into careers and it moves into your business goals and stuff. And some of us are religious at doing this and some of us aren't, right? Some of us actually take the time to reflect it. Now, I've done this every year. I don't always share it every year because I'm quite a private individual. So I don't share all my goals, but I make sure I write them down and I make sure I make them as real as I can because I want to go after them. I want them colorful. I want them bright. I want them real so that I can go after them, even when I'm asleep. So rather than talking about goal setting, intentions, and everything else, I wanted to talk to you about some targets. So just to change the identity of this a little bit and make it a bit more practical, because in this industry, or in the industry of goal setting, in the industry of coaching, some people shy away from it, some people poo-poo it, and other people dress it up as lots of things and make it sound really floopy and stuff. And I'm kind of like, I want to do it purposeful and practical. So I'm going to give you some examples of, like, back in my sales days and stuff, how I set targets for myself and how I challenge others to set targets so that they can achieve those targets. Stretching, so that they can grow into the person to become them. You don't want to set targets and stand still, because if you set the same targets you set last year, everything else is costing more and growing. So your targets need to grow with you. Otherwise, you're actually potentially either standing still or going backwards. So I get asked a lot about how do I set targets? How do I set sales targets for my team and stuff like that? How do I set sales targets for myself, for my business? And what does it actually look like in terms of revenue? Blah, blah. And I find that very regularly people isolate them out as sales targets, and therefore they don't directly link them to revenue, and therefore they don't directly link to the contribution to the bottom line, and therefore the profit within that and everything else. So let's just run through some targets. We'll talk about profit and breaking it down in a different way on another session, but let's just talk about these targets in purely financial. So I thought I'd pick two industries, completely random, and I looked at childcare and then I looked at hairdressing, because why not? So when I talk about childcare, I'm talking preschool. All right. So I've done some research in terms of the numbers. So I'm not going to pretend to remember this stuff. I'm going to be looking down because I'm going to be reading it to you, because I want to give you the numbers so you can write it down and follow this thought process through. So get a pen and paper, get ready. We're going to do maths. So in terms of childcare, so looking around on the different stats and stuff. Now, these are taken from 2017, right? Back in 2017, the childcare industry was estimated to be a 7.5 billion industry and growing. So we're in 2021 now, right? Plus everyone's homeschooling, so these figures are going to be completely different now, which is great. But even so, let's base it on these. So it makes these figures extremely conservative. So if you have a product or service that you can offer into the childcare sector, let me give you some numbers. 23,000 nurseries, 9,600 preschools, 59,500 childminders, and then 15,000 out of school support. Now this is England, Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland, right? So this total is 107,100 to be precise. So I want you to think about 107,100. If you had a £49 price product, if you had a product that you could sell into that school, into those preschools, into those childminders stuff that would massively benefit the kids' lives, massively benefit the childminders' lives, therefore benefit the parents' lives, therefore benefit these kids as they grow into different generations and all that sort of stuff. If you had a product that was, say, £49, 107,100. Now, what I would challenge people to do is to go after that market. So firstly, go and do the analysis to understand the size of your market. So that's why I've given you those numbers broken down of 23,000 school nurseries, 9,600 preschools, 59,500 childminders, and 15,000 out of school support, because that's the target market that you can go after if you have a product for the childcare industry, preschool. So now you know the size of the market. Now you can set yourself some targets. So people go, yeah, but where do I start? Because that's like 101,000. Wow, that's massive. Yeah, okay, cool. Well, let's just work out some basic numbers from that. What would 1% of that be? What would 5% of that be? What would 10% of that be? We'd be pleased to know. I've already done the numbers for you. So 1% of 107,100 is 1,071 businesses. Fairly easy for most mathematicians to figure out. 5% of that number would be 5,355 opportunities. 10% of that would be 10,710. 10,710. So if you had a £49 product and you capitalized on 1% of the marketplace, 1,071 times 49 equals 52,479 in total revenue to your business, just by getting 1% of that marketplace. So if you understand the size of the market, and then you set yourself a very, very conservative number of 1% of that marketplace that you want to sell into, that you want to have a target of success for, 1% would generate your business £52,479 in total sales revenue off a £49 product. A 5% take up, a 5% market share, 5,355 businesses times £49. That would be £262,395. You know, we're above £250,000 now at 5% of the market share from a £49 product. At 10%, 10,710 opportunities or businesses, £49 product, £524,790, over £500,000 in revenue from a £49 product with only 10% of the market share. Now you can do these numbers and look at it and go, well, instead of 1%, I'll go 2% and double it. So now you're at 104,000, right? But you can start to set some really achievable but sound practical numbers based on what the marketplace is. Now you can break this down regionally if you wanted to, so that you can get the number even more strategically close to you, so you can really know how to go after it. But you're not just licking your finger and sticking it in the air and hoping you get some numbers, right? And hoping there's enough money in the business. We're looking from the size of the market back, all right? So let's take hairdressing, for example. Hairdressers, barbers, beauticians registered in the business currently in the UK, England, Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland. I've got a total of 41,450. So let's just say hairdressers, let's double the price of the product from £49 to £99. And that still doesn't even cover the cost of a cut and a color for a woman, let's be honest. So a £99 product in a hairdressing sort of beauty barber salon, 1% market share is 415 opportunities. At £99, that's 41,085 quid total revenue. 5% market share, 2,073 salons. At £99, 205,227. 10% share, 4,145 at 99 quid, 410,350. So do you see how you can, with a little bit of research, now I didn't need to go to the Office of National Statistics, the ONS, to get this stuff, but you can do to verify it. It doesn't cost a lot of money to do this research. You can start with Google. How many hair salons are in the UK? You'll get around about 41,450, same as I did. But now you know the size of the market that you're going after, because surely if you've identified a product or service, you've identified a need, which is why you come up with it. So therefore you understand that there is a market. So now you need to understand the size of the opportunity, the size of the market, and then work some strategic goals out. And would you agree that 1% of a marketplace is an extremely conservative goal? Because if you have a product that changes lives, or a product that serves better, or a product that does it better than the current existing in the marketplace, then you're not having to convince a marketplace that they need your products and service. You're just doing it better than what other people are. So we need to story tell. We need to tell the story of how our product's better and why our product's better. You know, what you're about, what your values are, what do you stand for in terms of your supply chain and in terms of your end of life product, you know, the full sustainability of it, whatever it is. What's the key selling messages, the key stories, the key shouts that will really get your product noticed within that industry? Because you're only going after 1% for a fairly decent return straight away. You launch a £49 product into the childcare sector and you get 1% return, you get 52 grand back. What could your business do with that 52 grand to reinvest it into other things, or reinvest it into other marketing to take that 1% to 5% and get over £250,000 back? And this is how you build it, guys. All right. Set some clear targets. Do some research on your market. Become the business owner that deserves to have this, not by luck, but by judgment, but by focus. And by giving yourself the best freaking shot by doing this, the homework in the first place, to know what's happening, to give yourself some clarity on those targets and goals. So they're not just wishy-washy, right? Not just tree huggy bullshit. They're actually you achieving a revenue into your business. You know, take this a stage further. Of that £49, is that profit or is that the sale price? If it's the sale price, what's the profit within that? How much of that is cost? All right. If it's £9 cost and £40 profit, or £40 cost and £9 profit, redo the numbers. So you'll know exactly what is needed to not just bring revenue into your business to be able to reinvest it and cover your costs, but also make profit in your business. And profit is sanity, turnover is vanity, right? Cool. I hope that makes sense to you guys. Utilize the targets, utilize the industry, do a bit of research, build it properly, then build a plan around it. And all this stuff here, right? If you want to help, come and get it. Don't just sit back and wait. Right, I'm going to be doing a live in a couple of days about band-aids. Listen out for that one. That might be a bit controversial. Speak to you soon. Take care, guys. Come and have a chat. DM me, message your team and stuff, and let's see what we can do. Sales Academy in your corner. All right, let's make business great. Take care.